Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and our continuing series Ranking Rancor, where I rank my top 5 3D and 2D Sonic games. And today in the number 2 spot we have Sonic Mania Plus. And I absolutely love this game, but as usual we have developed a very scientific method to rank all these games, taking into account a ton of criteria. And what it comes down to is this is purely my opinion. So if you think I'm completely wrong and this should have been at the number 1 spot, and I expect to get some of those comments, leave them below and I'd love to hear your reasoning why. But this game, I don't want to say it came out of nowhere, but we had not had a good quality 2D Sonic game in the longest time. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 was fine, it was fun to play because it was a new Sonic game in the numbered series, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as 1, 2, or 3 are concerned. So when this game came out, it was just absolutely a blast to play. It was a new 2D Sonic game, it was an awesome game, it was in full 16:9 running on a modern console, but it felt like classic Sonic, and I can't commend the game enough for being able to bring that feeling of being a kid in the 90s back to me so recently. But it is at the number 2 spot, and I'll say right off the top why I think it is why I absolutely love this game, and I'm sure Sega leaned on the developers to do this. It borrows a little bit too heavily from the original games. We are going through Green Hill Zone Act 1, and it basically feels like I'm playing a modern Genesis version. And even when we jump into the special stage here, it's super fun, but I wish the game gave us more of this and less of retreading old Sonic games. Because the original stages, the remix stages, those are all awesome. But when it's using content that we've already played 100 times before, all I want is for the game to get to the new stuff, because that is just so incredible. And granted, the stages that they're using from the original Sonic are iconic classic stages. They're super fun to play. They're some of the best Sonic stages of all time. But if we get a Sonic Mania 2, I want it to be 100% original content. And that's why this takes the number 2 slot. I'm not going to tell you what game's the number 1. You can probably guess. But I really struggled back and forth. This was my number 1 for about half of making the season. And then towards the end, I actually decided to swap it out. But the boss battles are great, the graphics are great, the soundtrack, all the remix tracks are awesome. Everything this game is giving to you is just spectacular. I just wish that it relied a little bit more on its own original content, or if my dream came true, it was a 100% original game. And some of the background on how it looks and sounds is Sega's decree to the developers was make something that seemed like it was in between the Sega Genesis and the Sega Saturn, somewhere in that hardware power level, maybe something that might run on the 32X, and I think they do an excellent job at accomplishing that. You get all these great backgrounds with all this parallax scrolling, but it kind of looks like you're just playing a Genesis game that's been remastered. It doesn't feel unlike Sonic, and definitely that trick spring there that stops you feels 100% like Sonic. But it feels like that power level right before Saturn. Those 3D special stages kind of feel like something like the 32X could have pulled off, and I do like that they basically created their own concept of a hardware generation to make this game. And now that we're on to this next boss battle as well, the boss battles in this game are incredible. They really do a lot of fun and weird things with them, and you'll see that coming up again shortly. But I do like how they kind of reconceptualize what a boss battle in a Sonic game is. And even down to kind of the screen transitions, similar to Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic 3, where the stages blend into each other versus just going to a straight black screen and starting another stage. The developers made it very clear that that's something that they wanted to do, and I think all those different screen and level transitions work really well and give the game a sense of continuity. It really feels like you're flowing through the game versus just completing stages. And now you see Robotnik here. As usual, he's mad at his minions because they always fail, just like Mario and Bowser. The joke is they never succeed. But I do like these different warping aesthetics, how the screen moves, how the colors look. It just looks and feels like it was developed by people who loved Sonic, because in fact that's exactly what happened. The developers of this game loved the series and they wanted to play a new Sonic game, and Christian Whitehead, the guy that did the Sonic CD port, was invited to make this game because he had clearly proven to Sega that he was capable of understanding what Sonic was all about. And I think that's something that Sega should really take into account, is that they make Sonic games and they're still good, but they're definitely losing a step from when they came from, where sometimes fans who are also developers maybe have their finger closer to the pulse of what a Sonic fan wants in a game. Because, one of the best Sonic games to come out in recent memory was not made by Sega. It was funded by Sega, it's a Sega game, but the people that made it weren't Sonic Team, and I think this game has a real big advantage to not having been made by Sega. And maybe if Sega's smart, and that's always a big question mark with them because some of their decision-making process doesn't make much of any sense to me or anybody else, they will let other outside parties take a crack at making Sonic games, because this is one of the best in recent memory, where if you take Sonic Team's last entry, Sonic Forces, that's definitely one of the worst in recent memory. So it's a sad state of affairs that, fan developers are doing a better job, but my opinion is just hire the person who's doing the best job and let them do the work for you, especially if you don't think you're as good as them. You'll end up with a better product. But now we are on to another boss fight. And this basically is Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's kind of like a Puyo Puyo clone game, but the entire boss battle, you're not fighting Robotnik as far as trying to hit him, you are trying to beat him in a round of a puzzle game. And it's just a fun little thing. Like, who would think that we'll take this mechanic from a different game in the series, one that wasn't a mainline Sonic entry whatsoever, and we'll use that mechanic for a boss fight. And when I saw this when it first came out, it just seemed fun. It made me smile. It made me realize that somebody was taking what Sonic meant and borrowing from other areas of Sega's history and being able to put that into a Sonic game and give us something that was wholly unique, wholly different, while also feeling like a game that could have come out in, the mid to late 90s. This game has the feeling of something that you just never played 20 some odd years ago versus a game that was made recently outside of the 16:9 aspect ratio, which is just the dead giveaway that it's a more modern game. But now moving on, we're into a wholly original stage, and the soundtrack's absolutely amazing, and I want to emphasize how good it is. So I'm going to stop talking, listen for about a minute, I'll come back and close out my video on Sonic Mania, but enjoy the music because it is good. And I do love the fact that they do slow you down like a traditional Sonic game. Not everything is fast forward motion, but some of the background effects, this popcorn machine here, they just feel so special and so unique. And I love that the developers of this game added in all these different little details, even like how the rings, when you lose them, some of them get larger with sprite scaling and come towards the screen versus just scattering out like they always used to in traditional Sonic games. And they do a great job of really mixing up the fast gameplay with the more slow platformy gameplay. And I do appreciate that they just haven't made Sonic have to be fast, because I think that's something that Sega struggles with, especially in the 3D games that, gotta go fast. Sonic goes fast. That's what people think of them, but they kind of forget that it needs to be fast and also controllable and also fun, where this game 100% understands that. And this is just something that I hope we see more from Sega and these developers. I want a new, wholly original 2D Sonic game made by these guys, because I think it would just be incredible. Let them do whatever it is they want, because clearly they've proven they're awesome. And you get this little effect right here. These sprites, they glow, they're colorful. It just feels like a lost Genesis game from an alternate dimension where the Genesis was more powerful, or inversely, if the Saturn actually had a traditional 2D Sonic game, this is probably what it would have looked like and played like. And the fact that, in such a modern time, we can still get something like this, just to me, is a perfect example of why you need to listen to fans, why you need to listen to the people that love the franchise, because more often than not, they're the ones that really care and probably do have good ideas. Maybe not all of them are great, but if you find the right people and you work with them, you get a product like Sonic Mania. But short of that, awesome game, highly recommended. If you haven't played it, why not? Go buy it right after the video. But if you could do us a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It takes us a lot of time and energy to make each one of these episodes. We really appreciate your support. If you think this should have been at number 1 versus at number 2, leave a comment below and tell me why. Because like I said, this is all down to my opinion, so I'm kind of just talking into an echo chamber with what I think. But we will be back in a couple weeks with our number 1 pick in the 3D and 2D Sonic entries. And we'll also be back on Tuesday and Friday with episodes in those series as well. But like I said, this game is absolutely incredible. If you have not played it yet, you 100% have to go out and do it. You can download it. It's pretty much on every platform. You can get physical copies. There's no excuse not to play this game, especially if you're a Sonic fan. But short of that, thanks so much for watching. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.